Hey everyone, this is Phil with Ross Custom Wood Furniture. Stick around and watch this video as I go through step by step on how I made this maple live edge slab desk from start to finish. Thanks for watching and enjoy. So every one of my custom builds usually involves a trip to my favorite sawmill to find some suitable pieces that will work. Fortunately, I'm only about 30 minutes away, and it happens to be a real rainy Saturday here in Oregon, so a great time to hit the road in my truck and see what's available. So as you come in, you get to see lots of their logs that they're getting ready to cut down on the sawmill, and a couple kilns on the right, a couple stacks of drying on the left, and as you go inside you get to see some very beautiful walnut slabs. That's not what we came here for today, but it's always fun to look around. So this particular customer wanted a desk in a lighter colored wood, so maple fits the bill. Here I'm measuring out each slab, giving them a couple options for their desk, and just letting them see the character and the live edge of each one. We went with the last one here. They wanted a nice, clean, live edge, but we'll deal with the splits on the end, since it's longer than we need. So the first step is getting a flat surface. I have the router sled set up here so it can make one side of the slab flat and level. And at one point, I had to stop and just admire the amount of figured grain in this slab. I mean, when working with maple slabs from Oregon, this is one of the bonuses. And even when I'm cutting the end off of one side, I had to just stop and look at how cool the wood grain is on this piece. So once one side is flat, we can flip it over and flatten the other side. You can see here how it starts with a rough, weathered texture, but just under the surface is some beautiful figured wood grain just waiting to be discovered. After I know that both sides are flat and level, I wanted to keep it as flat as possible. So I clamped the slab to the workbench, but allowed airflow to both sides of the slab so that it can equalize after surfacing. You might get some slabs that want to move after you plane one side, and that would defeat the whole purpose of surfacing one side. So meanwhile, while the slab is acclimating, I added some epoxy to any voids or splits in the slab and let that cure for a couple days as well. So, while the slab is acclimating, it's a good time to get started welding the base. Now you might be thinking, why are you wasting time making your own base? Why not just buy one online, right? Well, that's a good question, and although I've done that many times before, being able to build the metal base specific to the particular slab I'm working with and not have to wait a month before it's ready is worth it in my book. In addition, this customer wanted to adjust a previous design of mine, changing where the middle support was welded to the legs, as well as having the option to add a shelf underneath at a later point without any visible fasteners on the top. So being able to have this option of customization is something that I do like to have available. So here I've been cutting all the metal pieces from stock, and then I've just been drilling pilot holes for the base to be attached to the top. After that, I'm using a larger drill bit to make each hole wider so that the slab has enough room to expand and contract. Now, unfortunately, I really didn't plan on making this video from start to finish, so I didn't get any video of me actually welding the base. I think another reason I didn't get any video of the welding process was that I happened to upgrade from a flux core welder to a gas MIG welder during this build. And when I tested it out and I realized how nice it was not to deal with any splatter or slag or mess afterwards on my metal base, I just welded it up right away and it was just such a breeze to use. So hopefully on the next video I'll get that process included. But for the meantime, here's a short clip of me welding an attachment for my skid steer last summer. Anyways, back to the build. You can see me drilling some pilot holes for where the shelf bracket would be attached on each support, which I would later tap to be able to thread a bolt into. Then here are a couple pictures showing how I ended up welding the brackets for the bolt on shelf and showing how it would attach from the bottom and how the shelf would be flush with the middle brace. So I knew on my next build that I wanted a slightly different shape of bow tie inlays, so it just so happened that this desk was going to get another upgrade. My local library had a glow forge available in their maker lab, so I created a custom template with the exact dimensions that I wanted, and I was pretty happy how they turned out. I added a few bow ties on each end of the slab, both on the top and the bottom, just to keep the splits from moving at all. Then it was time to sand and finish. I did happen to use a water-based finish for this desk, just to keep as much of the light color as possible in the maple grain. Maple is always a fun wood to work with when it shows off its figured grain, and this slab was no exception. I had a blast creating this custom desk for my customer, all the way from the first inquiry about them needing a particular color of wood to finding a great slab to work with, and turning that rough piece of lumber and raw metal into a piece of furniture that's handmade from start to finish. Thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this, and please let me know down in the comments what your favorite part was of the video. See you next time. Thanks.